Hi, I'm Claire here at TVLine Studios with Guerdy Abraira from Real Housewives of Miami.
Hello.
Thanks for joining us
Of
today.
course, it's a beautiful day in New York.
It is. I want to dive right into Wednesday's episode 7, talking about the Celebration of Life event that you hosted. We know you shared some text messages there, but I kind of agreed with Larsa. I paused the screen and tried zooming in to read these texts, Gertie. I could not read them. Can you
Okay.
tell us, what
Well,
they expressed?
and anyone at the party could have taken a screenshot and read it at home, in the car, wherever they deem fit. The texts had names redacted.
Yeah,
Okay.
I saw that.
Because I wanted to finally share the truth where I knew I would not be interrupted, because there's reasons why people want to interrupt you when you're trying to tell the truth, which
Yeah.
happened at the wedding chaos. I was interrupted multiple times. And this was my opportunity to have clarity, for my opportunity to release the truth on my terms and not hold it anymore, to protect others. And so after having lunch with people or dinner with people individually, trying to say this is an entire lie from
What
beginning
is the lie?
to end. Her fabrication of the Zoom, her fabrication of this cruise story. And it's not about the cruise, is what I want people to know, but it's a conduit to try to paint me as something that I am not. And one thing that I am not is a liar.
Right.
And one thing that I am is a good friend. So when you show up for a friend who asks you to show up, and you're there for them because they say they need emotional support, and they turn it around and said, you volunteered, you wanted to be in my room, my jacuzzi, and you made everything about you. And I was thinking about my wife, but you decided to ruin my cruise. That's going to be a problem for me, because that's a character slender. And I've worked too hard to be in a position where I have to sit there and defend my character for a cruise that happened before season 6 reunion.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and for a
Okay.
cruise,
But-
can we just let the cruise go?
But no,
On
let's
her
focus.
part.
Let's focus on the timeline.
Right.
For a cruise that happened before season 6 reunion.
So it could have been brought up
And
previously.
It could have been brought up by season 6 if it was a problem. It was never a problem. It was
Yeah.
never a discussion. It was just a text exchange, and that was that. To be my friend still to my face for a year, then behind my back start talking about me with the girls.
Why do you think she's doing that now and she didn't right away?
Julia had a beautiful storyline that she was going to stick to adopting children, and which she did, and it's a beautiful storyline for her. To add me to that and to add other elements to that, which you will see unfold on this season, she got too greedy with storylines, and half of them are story lies. And it's not for me. It
I
is
like
not
that
for me
line.
to hold her lies for her
Yeah.
until the reunion. I need to be able to set the truth when I can. I tried. This was my last resort, of course.
Yeah.
And this happened after the first portion of my party. My party was not a charity at all. At
No,
all.
It's a celebration of life.
It was my celebration hosted by thenot.com and The Knot, who did a magazine cover and wanted me to share my testimony at my party, which I did. And it's going to include the C word. And it may not make people, too comfortable.
Yeah.
But I'm breaking the stigma, and we're going to talk about cancer because it's part of my life.
Yeah.
And if I have this platform, I'm going to talk about it. And at the end of the day, I think that people just weren't comfortable to hearing the truth. So they said, you know what, let me spin it, and I'm going to have morals today. And this is a cancer charity now in a church.
Yeah, in a church. Gertie, the in the church killed me.
The
But I
inner
want to
church
talk
killed me,
about
which was used to be a church and
Right.
now is an event space full time.
Right. I want to talk about the women's over the top reaction to
Yeah.
the text reveal because, first of all, this is a very standard housewives practice, I feel like. It does usually happen at the reunion, but to release text, it's not like you showed her social security number. But they had no reaction when Julia threw the water. So why do you think that is, like that disparity?
It's a rabbit hole which I don't want to go into. I don't want to be Alice in La La Land and Delulu Land. I don't want to play this game.
Yeah.
And it's sad because I came to this season wanting that groove back. I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
back. And I never came in with the intention of like, when I come in, I'm going to talk about how bad I just wanted to be like, I'm getting my groove back. This is fun.
Yeah.
And I was communicating with the girls. And and I have those texts to share, but I don't need to prove myself any longer. The fact is that everyone to my face were nice. The cameras pick up, and I hear now that I'm not inviting her because she's going to make it about her. And you know what? Last season, yeah, I did get a lot of attention because of my cancer. I did.
You shared a lot.
But maybe some people didn't like that. And maybe some people said, you know what? We got to move on. You got cancer. Next season, you don't anymore. And now we can, start with you with whatever.
yeah.
So I can only take so many licks, but you got to give me a good reason for it. You got to give me a good reason for it. And I have yet to hear someone give 3 examples because you did this, not, oh, because you're too much. You're aggressive. You're loud now. Yeah, it's been 6 years I've known you, but like today you're all of those. Yeah. We got to have landing points, and no one has had a landing points thus far. So what are we reaching out? Straws, it looks like, and I just can't play this game. I just can't.
So do you think you can, and do you want to move forward with Julia specifically after all of this?
I tried to move on. 2 weeks after the incident,
yeah.
I sat down with her. I apologized for being unhinged, meaning after the water was thrown in my face, humiliating me, degrading me on national TV for no reason, based on a lie. I decided to say, okay, give grace once. Okay, on her terms, we're going to make a pact that we're not going to talk about this. And then comes the narcissist party, where the first thing she does, out of the blue, no one asked her to, Q&A, and I'm going to go ahead and try and embarrass Guerdy again.
Yeah.
And it's so sad because she could have easily had just a beautiful, beautiful season with her story. And I don't know what she's got against me, but she's dragging me in. So, it's hard for me to still become this new version of myself where I say to myself, I'm not going to take, and now I got to walk the walk. And it's not a pretty walk. It's a messy walk, but I'm just finding my footing in this walk and this journey. And it's my testimony.
Yeah.
And, I stand by what I did, because if not then, when? They will never give me an opportunity to speak. When I try to speak, they interrupt me, as they did at the wedding. And so I tried individually, as a group. It didn't work. People don't want to look. They don't want to read, because they want to stick to their belief of what was told to them about me. And so that is where I've lost all hope. And at this point, I just have to at least validate myself for myself. And that's that.
So then before we wrap, I know you have some big news that you did announce on Watch What Happens Live.
Yes. So this is my book, From Trauma to Trophies. And I wrote it in a very interesting way, one therapy session at a time. The journey is long, and it starts from the very beginning. So this book takes you to the very beginning of my life and how I got to where I got successfully in my career, and then came the C word, and now who I am becoming now. So this takes you through my mind and my process on, redefining myself and still learning how to be this new version of myself. It took me a long time to even look at pictures of myself before cancer. I couldn't look because I didn't know who that person was anymore. And now I'm just sitting in my truth, and it's messy, and it's loud, and it's, all cringy sometimes, but it's beautiful, and it's imperfectly me. That's it.